Well, we're all gathered here together to take a look at number 11 in the dynamics of speaking the truth. Speaking truth. It's a difficult kind of conversation to keep having because it requires speaking the same words. Some people would say that I say the same thing, which is actually not true. Given if you speak something that is true while seeing that it's true, that's not repeating the same. It is speaking the truth in a new way or anew. If you hear someone say something and then you repeat the something without seeing the truth of it yourself, that's repeating. That is, then it's a lie. Unless, of course, the listener happens to see the truth of it for themselves. Or is it themselves? I ain't so good with my English. So can we take a look at this number 11 and see the truth of it, which is that we are living in a dream world. Living from a dream world might be a more appropriate way of putting it, I don't know. Even in that somewhat famous book people talking about says something about forgive them, Father, or some nonsense like that. For they know not what they are doing. Now, if you look at those words and realize they're 2,000 years old, and if you leap forward 2,000 years, you might say that those people are living in a dream world. A group of people doing something together, not realizing they don't know what they're doing. They're living from a dream world. A dream world is invented by believing things. But first it's invented by accepting the dream world that our parents offered us. And of course, as I've said many times on back, thousands of years, we have accepted the same consciousness that has violence, belief as its core. And violence and belief is always performed in a dream world. In a world of reality, there could never be a war, a fighting, a rape, argument, kill, gun. Wouldn't be any gun to be able to be. Wouldn't be a gun found anywhere. Matter of fact, maybe even the word know what the word gun was referencing, unless it's a dream world. And there's one necessity for sure in a dream world, and that's to have a gun, so you can kill those other dreamers before they kill you. That's the only reason. The only reason people have guns is because they're afraid of the other people with guns. They might, well, you get the point, perhaps. So what I'm suggesting here is rather, it could be called counterproductive because it's far more effective, or it is effective for each person to realize, to find out for themselves that they are a complete failure, that they have been living for all but 2 or 3 of their years, maybe 4, have been living in a dream world, a world of lies, stealing, thievery, cheats. And in this world, if you don't lie, steal, and cheat, you're done for. As a matter of fact, the better you can lie, steal, and cheat, the more money you make. So now you know about those guys at the top. I don't remember all their names. I mean, any of them right now, I guess. I think Potts or No, not Potts. Gates. And I don't know, there's a bunch of them. Even the new ones are coming along have done it recently. The Facebook guy and the space guy that took that dick-shaped thing up into space. And hopefully the last thing we'll do is take our ignorance, our silly, violent world of dream, and take it to another planet and go up there and destroy everything on it. My guess is we won't be able to do that. We'll blow ourselves up before that happens. So the counterproductive thing that I'm talking about is the realization that the entire world that you live in is a dream. It's a made-up, fictional dream. And you are part of the dream. You have taken your role in the dream. Who knows what your role is. But if you have taken your role to the point where you place labels on yourself, you know, the silly things that we do to each other, call ourselves a man or a woman, how crazy can you be? Or call ourselves a Republican or a Democrat or an American or a Japanese or what are those other countries? There's no other country besides America, is there? Because we're the best. We're going to make America white again. That's our past fellow's idea. Make America white again. Get rid of all those dark-complected people. Because that's the dream world. The dream world of you're right and everybody else is wrong. And that's kind of a universal thing. No matter who you are or where you're from, that's the best person to be and the best place to be from. So is it possible then for you to look at it in a reverse order? The most effective way would be for you to discover for yourself on your own that you've been lied to, you've been cheated, you've been stolen from. And that you then joined the liars, the thieves, and the stealers, the ones doing the stealing. And now you are promoting those things. If you can discover your own complete 100% failure, what I mean by failure is failure as a human being. Perhaps we could create a distinction here to walk around with, if you will. So people can kill each other, they can rape each other, they can make slaves of one another, they can look down on people of other shades of color in their skin or the way they live their life. People can kill, they can go to war, they can fight. People invent an image for themselves before they turn even 4 years of age. And then they build that image up and they keep building the image up and they keep building the image up with different beliefs. All sorts of crazy things happen until they get old enough to marry another image. And then the two images get together long enough to find out, wait a minute, that image isn't it. The image begins to disappear when marriage appears or relationship. So is it possible then for you to realize that you're an image that you invented yourself to be after you accepted the dream world that your parents offered you? As I have said, the most effective way is for each of us to discover that we failed at being a human being. The greater that you are successful at being people, a person, the greater your failure at being human. As a matter of fact, a universal truth is only when you fail at everything that we demand people be, will you discover that then you have succeeded at one thing only, and that is to be human. The requirement is to fail at everything that is being a people, a person, requires. So the distinction I'm drawing here is that people are those who live in dream worlds. They believe things. They have gods. They have snakes that can yickety-yak and apples that you could eat, all sorts of things. They can even hang people not knowing what they are doing because they live in a dream world. That's people. Human beings would say, wait a minute, hold it. If we hang one person, if we kill one person, then we are murderers as well. Which obviously happens in America quite often. We teach those people who kill people not to kill people by killing them. And of course, that really teaches them not to kill people because they're not around to kill people anymore. However, it doesn't deter, except slightly. We do have the world that we live in, which is the world of controlled chaos. Essentially, we have a bunch of people who would do a whole lot more things than what they do, except they're afraid of the consequence, like go to jail, get caught, be mocked, or put in, as I said, jail, or go to prison, or be killed themselves if they kill. That's controlled chaos. That's what people need, is controlled chaos. Human beings have no need at all for control because they won't control. They don't need to control things, given they will not have the need to kill, rape, go to war, become Republicans or Democrats or idiotic Muslims or Catholics or one of those other things. First Presbyterian. I used to be a long time ago a First Presbyterian. You know, what I learned was if I wanted to go to heaven, I had to be a First Presbyterian. From St. Clairsville, Ohio, too. I mean, we're the only ones that are going, buddy. The rest of you, done for. You're out of here. You're not going, just us. Of course, then I later learned it's only the Catholic people that are going to go, and then only the Jewish people are going to go, and then I found out later only those Muslim people are going to go, and oh my goodness, the Buddhists aren't going because they don't even consider it is one, so maybe they'll go. Point being, we are living in a dream world. In the God belief section, there are 4,200 God beliefs, different domains of the contextual thing called God. God belief is better said. 4,200 of them. And every one of them, the only one that's the only way you can't get up there. The rest of you are going, down there. Down there, not down there. Oh, I don't want to get dirty here. So, have I been rambling too long here? Looks like maybe. Is it possible then, for each of you, if you've gotten this far, listen to this crazy nutcase, for each of you to at least consider a tiny little possibility, create a slight, don't believe a damn thing this guy says. That would be the craziest thing you can do, is believe anything I say. Or anybody, actually. But you might consider this tiny little possibility that you live in and from a dream world. And it has been a dream world for a few thousand years. Now, if you need a little bit of oomph, proof of what I'm saying, then ask yourself, do you get angry? Do you get mad, what they call mad at your husband, your wife, your brother, your sister, your God, your whoever? Do you get angry? Do you get jealous? Do you have money piling up? And do you have to be right? Is your whole world developed around control? We have to control everything. Then you know that you live in and from a dream world. Does the world you walk around in, the one between the sun and the land and the earth, you're walking around on it, does it go to war? And then at the end of the war, get ready for a war, and then go to war. And at the end of the war, get ready to go to war. And you can even hear now the little faraway bells ringing that perhaps another one's on its way. If you live on a planet that has been going from war to war, you live in and from a dream world of people. Human beings would never, ever, ever do anything like go to war, because they wouldn't fight, they wouldn't argue, they wouldn't rape, they wouldn't do all the things that people in the dream world do to each other. And for sure, this is one of the first things that people living in a dream world do. They say, oh, they did it. They did. Oh, it's them. Oh, look at those dumb presidents. Look at those dumb congressmen. They all lie. We can't, not realizing we, you, me, we all elected those. The congressmen, the presidents, the vice presidents are all the same as us. We put our clones up there. We sit in our houses, we lie, we steal, we cheat. And we say, look at those politicians. You can tell a politician because their mouth is moving, they lie. That's us. There is no them. We are the inventors, the perpetrators of. We are the people who continue living in and living from a dream world of liars, thieves, and cheats. We even have the conspiracy of ineffectiveness that keeps us all bundled together. Don't you get better? Don't you tell the truth. If you tell the truth, we'll hang you from a cross, or we'll hang you from a tree, or we'll laugh at you, or we'll cajole, whatever it takes to make sure you're not listened to. Because if we begin to allow the dynamics of speaking truth to manifest, liars will go away. Thieving will end. Stealing won't be heard of. You won't see people running up and down the expressway at 85 and 90 mile an hour in a 70 zone. You won't see husbands and wives. It's kind of funny. Watch husband and wife, oh, honey, baby, peachy, smashy mouth, pinchy tit, and all that stuff going on. Really. And then the next minute you hear them say, you no good son. And then they're fighting like crazy. You won't see the dream world any longer, because the dynamic of speaking truth ends the lie. It ends the dream world, because the dream world is the lie. And it's wrapped up. This dream world and lie is wrapped up in belief, thought, and knowledge, all in one package. And we've been living from knowledge, thought, and belief, that trap, for thousands of years. We've stepped, and every generation moves farther away from truth, intelligence, and creation, which is, of course, reality. Don't ever see if you can speak reality into a world of dreamers. Wait. Stop that and put a gun to your head. I'm going to prove to you that we need freedom. We have to kill people to have freedom, And then we have to keep killing people to keep freedom. All right, so my question is this, as I started to pose here a while back. Would you be willing to tiny little possibility to consider even a tiny little bit that You may have been living in a dream world your whole life, all but the first 3 or 4 years, perhaps. Those that maybe really resisted, it might have lasted for 4 years. A lot fell the first year or two. By the year 4, you have fallen into the world of dreams, talking snakes or virgins popping out, water walking winemakers, or olives coming along, marrying 11-year-olds, whatever all those things are. You've already fallen for it. You're already from First Presbyterian, the only ones that are going to go to heaven. So this possibility I'm asking you about is, would you consider this tiny little possibility that this wacko nutcase speaking with you here is telling you the truth, that you have been and are living from a complete and total dream world that never, ever, ever cares to have truth spoken into it, which, by the way, I apologize for. That's my mistake for speaking the truth into a world of dreamers. Perfect experience of creating the possibility that you live in the dream world is sent to you each.